Hello, everyone, and welcome to part two of the Halloween 2018 Rehaul tutorial. Hope you guys have been enjoying this so far. I appreciate all of the support that you guys have been giving me throughout this. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get rid of this text here. Now, where we previously left off, with me, goofing up a little bit with this guy. There we go. And I I let the black dry a little too much, and it resulted in the paint latching on too much. So learn from my mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. So anywho, before we continue, for those of you listening live, how is the music volume? I wanted to play a little music while I stream here to make it a little, a little less quiet. Oh, hold on. Oh, maybe it's because I have it pretty low. Hold on. How about now? Is that a good volume? Can you hear my voice pretty well over the music? Cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And before we go any further, I'm going to remove the tag here. All right. So, like I was saying, learn from my mistakes. I dried the acrylic for a little too long, and it resulted in it latching on to the mask a little too much. So, what do I do about this? I will basically be just going over the patches that I rubbed out a little too much, and it resulted in the cracks not being as visible. Yeah, I did lay it on a little too thick. I agree. Been a little while since I've done the rub out method. That's why I usually prefer doing dry brush methods. It's a little bit easier to control, and it's a little bit more straightforward. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that while I was doing it, that I didn't dilute the paint enough. So, but it's not the end of the world. It's not in a horrible state or anything like that. So. But yeah, I've been in far worse situations. But at least the paint, at least most of the base coat underneath didn't come fully off. So I'm thinking, like I was saying, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to patch up the areas that I rubbed out too much, and then basically gonna do like micro rubbing out in the areas. Gonna really dilute. There we go. Gonna just go over some of these areas here. Again. Thin it out a little more. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, I'm just gonna go over this area, this area. Sometimes instead of what I've done in the past, instead of brushing it on, I have used a spray bottle too, and that's worked okay. But I do not have a free spray bottle. Yeah, I should have done this amount to begin with, but oh well. In any of the areas that are too dark, I'm just going to I'm just gonna dry brush, do a dry brush pass. Gonna do a dry brush pass of the zombie flesh medium. What's up, Steve? Thanks for tuning in, bro. I didn't see you at work today. Oh. Yeah, I think that was something I mentioned in my previous video, is that not all of the cracks are visible anyway. Um, but I like to start out with them visible, and then once I get to, once I go through like a detail pass, I omit and add whatever details, because there's some details that aren't visible and some details that were added in, like the little sliver here. You probably know what I'm talking about, the black line that goes all the way down. It's not visible in the sculpt, but it's on the hero. Oh, you called off, huh? Weren't feeling it? A little thick. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm really quite impressed with the amount of detail that's in this mask, and I didn't have to strip it. Yeah, nice and crispy details. Um, I use for this I'm using just black acrylic paint. Um, I do not use any oils or anything like that because you shouldn't use oils when it comes to anything latex. I know Cosplay Chris uses a variety of different things for when he does rehauls and masks and stuff. But not me, I do not use any oils. Yeah. Let me... Okay. That is looking about how I want it as far as patching up the rub out areas I messed up on. And I will be briefly using my blow dryer, and I'm gonna mute my mic really fast here. Oh, is the video quality bad? I don't know. I think it might be either internet connection, maybe on your end or something. I'm not sure. Okay. Back in the handy dandy t-shirt here. And gonna use a little bit of alcohol again, because I don't have any clean water handy on me. So going to lightly rub off the areas that I patched up and see if I can get the details back. doesn't want to come off or do what I want with the forehead as much. So, let's see. Actually, getting more paint off this time around than I did last time. Okay. Yes, Steve, I stripped the hair on this guy. Looks like I cut it off. I trimmed the hair on this guy a while back. And doing that little trick I showed you guys in my last video to get all the fuzzies out of the hair. Apparently I didn't do that to this copy. Oh, a little bit more of the glue off. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm still not quite satisfied with how it's... Okay. Alright, what I'm gonna do is... went from 21 to 10 concurrent viewers. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go back over these areas once again. Kind of annoying. And then let these dry and not do a rub out on them. And just dry brush. Oh yeah. Right eye proper on my left. Yeah. It's the details are just very, very fine, and it can make or break these things, really. The under the eye, well, this whole, I mean, the whole face is riddled with cracks and details um, that are very, very important. Okay. I'm going to mute my mic again, dry the paint, and then after that, do a dry brush pass. I have not gone to a convention where they had any of the screen used masks. It's been years since I've actually gone to a convention. Haven't had the time or money to go, unfortunately. Gonna do my pass here. Trusty dry brush method that I actually prefer. Got stray hairs in the cup here. Don't want that. It's always annoying when you have hairs in the paint. Okay. Four killer, yes. Pretty much, I pretty much do a dry brush, in black. Dry brushing is, one of the ways you can, fuck, what was I gonna say? Dry brushing the black is the best way to make your base coat even as possible. You'll probably have to do a couple passes of that, and then it's up to you whether you want to dry brush in white, but I prefer to do the off-white colors first, and then I dry brush the actual white on top, because that's pretty much what the screen use mask is like. It's not one color, it's a couple different colors. Now I'm gonna Get a dry brush here. And for this, you want to have a very flat brush, of course. And make sure it's nice and thin. You can kind of see I barely have any on there because a little goes a long way. Might not look like much now, but it will after a few. Oh shit. One thing you don't want an actual dry brush. Reason why I was looking off just now is because my brush was too wet. Okay, much better. Yeah, it wasn't spreading how I wanted it, so... Okay. There we go. Spread it nice and thin. Okay. I usually like to do it in a less... or start in a less important area to make sure that the dry brush is spreading correctly and doing what I want. See, looks kind of like white, but I assure you, once you do a couple coats, it won't be as pale looking. Yeah, Steve, I'm working on a H40. Yep, all the cracks and wrinkles are part of the aging, and that's already it's already sculpted in to the mask. There we go. Yeah. Should definitely see about going to a con. Might be a while. But yeah. Hmm. Something is not right here. Whoops. Hit the camera. 4-H 40s. Really depends on how much time I have. Usually takes me a week or so, give or take. Well, that's good. Oh. Much debris. Okay. Thinking I'm going to thicken up or add just a smidge of white acrylic to this guy. It's looking pretty good now. Yeah, sometimes the mask paint spreads a smidge thin, so I like to add a smidge of acrylic to give it a little more thickness. Okay. Maybe that will do the trick. think I shook it up enough. Again, I'm dry brushing in areas that are not as important. So just to make sure that the dry brush is working how I want it to. Lots and lots of problem solving with this one. Yeah, I don't know. Have some good days and bad days in working on these things. Of course, some of my mishaps are on camera. Can never... This one, I don't know what it is. Nothing seems to... line up right. No matter what I do. Yeah, the problem... problem I'm fucking having is that it's not spreading the way I want. It keeps on wanting to go in the cracks, not over the cracks. Which is being a nuisance. pull myself a little closer to the table here. I usually, when I work on masks, I don't work on them on the table. I work on them on my lap, so I don't have to hunch over as much. I have worked on pretty much every Myers mask from every movie at one point or another, in one way or another. The most experience I have is doing these guys. If you want to use brown, you can use brown. Oh, you mean the brown of the latex? I just do a base that is completely black. And that's usually about 3 layers. Let's see. I mixed some Flex Gloss with acrylic paint. And I'm gonna see how it reacts to spreading. Because the problem I'm having now is I'm getting debris coming off of the brush, leaving kind of like a dusty texture on the mask. So I'm wondering if so. Just gonna do a white for now and see what that does. Got about a half an hour left with you guys. I don't want to have these streams be too long. This is actually working better. Just so you're not having to scrub through a whole lot if you're watching after the fact. It's working a lot better. I'd say the 18s are riddled with challenges compared to other masks that I've rehauled, just because of the amount of detail that needs to be brought forth from the ground up, essentially. And believe it or not, I prefer working on kills and ends masks more than H40s, just because of the details on those are more broad and not as intricate. If that makes sense. Yeah. But as far as the style, I'm just rereading your comment there. Masks. Is there one mask style that is more of a challenge? I don't know. Just H40s in general are a challenge. Yeah, some of these masks come with really bad eye cuts, and some of you guys have seen my one of my recent 18s that I've done, and the eye cuts were really bad on those. They were like really rounded, and I had to use a handy dandy mold builder that you can get at Hobby Lobby and Amazon. Comes in handy for repairs, but luckily this copy I did not need to adjust the eye cuts at all. It's better to have a mask that is undercut than overcut. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship to Masquerade. I find once you get over the hump of, getting the details to come through, like with the cracks and stuff, then it's fun. It's fun playing around with all the details and just adding depth to it. But the real tedious part is just getting the details to come out. And as much as I like using the dry brush method, the one thing that sucks is that the texture comes off whenever you're brushing, because if you dry out the mask paint, it tends to leave behind particles, and that's one of the unfortunate things. Hey, what's going on, Mac? Glad you can stop by. Yeah, that's one of the perks of doing the rub out is there's less texture, but dry brush is more straightforward, and when it works, but sometimes just be uncooperative. In the same way playing pool, I can be really good at playing pool, or I can be horrible. No worries, bro. Kids are important. I'm gonna be having my own kid pretty soon, come February. I haven't really made an announcement on my Instagram yet, but anybody who's paid attention has heard me mention it a few times. It's getting there. It's getting there. Yeah, I don't know how much detail you guys can see. The quality of the webcam doesn't quite pick it up, but and you can probably hear it a little bit, but the texture that's being left behind. What is going on here? If I rub it a little bit, it's actually yeah, I have a little baby girl on the way. Yes. To answer your question regarding the Halloween Ends mask, my personal copy I was able to peel without using a Dremel. I only used a Dremel for some of the areas that I couldn't quite peel off. Oh, didn't see that. Yeah, the burnt side, as far as peeling, it is a real pain in the ass. The whole process really, um, whole process really kills your hands. Eventually, I want to see if I can devise a process of, um, peeling a 2018 without using a Dremel. I have not been that lucky yet. Now it's starting to come together, actually. Not looking too bad. Back in the day, when I first started rehauling these things, when they first started coming out, I would add in all the details by hand, and that sucked. They still turned out good, don't get me wrong, but that was pre-dry brush method, pre-rub out method. I did do washes. I don't know if I forgot if I used the washes to bring out the not sure if I used the washes as far as bringing out the cracks and stuff. It's been a long time. Yeah, the Halloween Ends mask itself is really cool. I just wish that the details were more crisp on it, because the details compared to the Halloween Kills mask are not as good, because the Halloween Kills mask is way more crisp in detail, and I hope eventually future copies will have more detail, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up. Yeah. One trick that I like to do with these, especially when adding in the details, is I have a fine brush like this. It's almost a similar style you would see those detail painters use, and I just go in and dial in all the details just using brush like that. You don't want to use like a very small tip brush, just because it'll ruin a lot faster. It's better to have more brush than not enough. And the areas you want to make sure are well highlighted are the nose, the cheeks, the chin, oh yeah, pinstriping. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give my brush a break. And some of the texture is gonna be coming a little too much, so I'm kind of scraping it down a little bit. Yeah, because it's getting a little rough, more so than usual. And this is what I like to do sometimes. The texture decides to pop up too much. You don't want it to be too smooth or too textured, because it affects the details, of course. Okay. I'm gonna do next is do a pass of the Flex Gloss. Maybe not that brush. Gonna do a pass of the Flex Gloss just to smooth out texture a bit. I'm gonna switch brushes because bristles are coming off. That's annoying. Okay, here we go. If you guys have any more questions before I end the stream here, feel free to ask. It can be about anything. It can be about rehauling. It can be about movies, Halloween movies. Okay. There's a lot of things and ends that I did not like, but I did think it was at least somewhat refreshing to do something different, but they just didn't do it right. It could have been cool if they I did like Corey's character and what they did with him, but just the overall execution of the film could have been so much better. Um, Michael should have been in the film more, of course. He should have had a bigger role, and I felt like the supernatural element was put to the side, even though it kind of was left as a cliffhanger at the end of Kills. How he's, invincible. I felt like they should have had a little bit more of a supernatural element in Ends, and maybe a little less of the romance. I feel like it should have been a little bit more psychological with Corey's character. um, and at least more visually psychological too. But yeah, it the the movie could have been better, and it should not for what it was. It should not have been the final uh, film in the trilogy. It shouldn't have been. But anyway, um, I don't know if you guys can see, but adding that flex gloss really smooths it out. Does a really good job at smoothing out some of the unwanted texture. And all of the Halloween 18 masks that I've done, I have never used green. I've only used yellows and browns. Yeah, the detail on this is pretty insane. For painting over the mask paint and not stripping it. Very, very crisp. Got really lucky with this copy. Leaving it in a pretty good spot, better than last time. Definitely is having more promise now that I've gotten it out of at least half of the base phase here. And it's coming together really, really well so far. And luckily with this copy, I think, did I seal the mouth? Looks like the mouth was sealed stock and also sealed very well. Because sometimes what I've had to do is reseal it, but also fill in the areas where there is too much of a mouth open, because sometimes the mouth is cut too much, and when it is stuck together, there's not enough lip, and it looks like that. It's supposed to have more of a more prominent bottom lip. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys. I hope you found this this stream helpful and educational. Got some pretty good work done on this guy. Much more headway than last time, of course. A lot of prep work went into this guy. And I showed you my process of working on, the other masks and stuff. So, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Uh, look forward to seeing you guys on my next stream. Still don't know when my next stream will be. Um, Probably might shoot for Thursday. Might shoot for Thursday around the same time, 3:30 to 5. Uh, Definitely not gonna be doing this every single day. Um, but what I might do is I'm probably gonna still work on this a little bit off camera, but I won't go too far. I'll probably just continue on with the dry brushing, and that's if I feel ambitious, if I feel like doing it tomorrow. But anyway, that about wraps it up. Thanks for coming, guys, and take it easy.